So guys, it's finished. Sporting 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 in the penultimate pre-season game ahead of the 22-23 Premier League season. My name is Dave, here from Talking Wolves, giving my thoughts on the game today. As always, if you caught the game, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, it's probably, I would say, our biggest test of pre-season so far, and it will be our biggest test and our first real feeler in what Wolves and how Wolves are going to line up ahead of the Premier League opener next week against Leeds United. But a big test as well, of course, with the news about Raul Jimenez's injury. He's going to be missing the start of the campaign. So we saw Wolves start with a 4-3-3. Bruno Lage seems to be sticking with this. So it looks like this is the way that we're going to start next week. And I'd be very surprised, or wouldn't be surprised rather, to see pretty much the team that started today is going to be the team that kicks off the season for us next week. So we saw Jose Sarr come back in goal, his first game of pre-season so far for us in goal. We saw a back four of Aït-Nouri, Collins, Kilman and Johnny. Midfield three of Dendoncker, Matinho and Neves, and a front three of Morgie, Gibbs-White, Podence and Neto. And Wolves started off really brightly, a lot of energy going forward. We had the back four pretty much sat on the halfway line, so we were able to suffocate Sporting and just pretty much hold the possession for the first part of the game. And obviously a lot of the energy was coming down the left-hand side through Pedro Neto, who in the end won a penalty for Wolves. Now, on first glimpse in real time, I thought the referee got it wrong. It was Gonçalo Inácio who gave away the penalty, a player that has been linked with Wolves this summer. And I thought he'd won the ball, to be fair. But on closer look and on the replays, it looked like the referee got the decision bang on. It was a fantastic call by the referee. And of course, with Raul Jimenez not there, Ruben Neves as captain again today with no Connor Cody in the side as well, took the penalty and sent the goalkeeper the wrong way to give Wolves the lead. And to be fair, although we still looked okay, I thought we looked okay for about the 90, to be fair. We seemed to just take our foot off the gas a little bit throughout the rest of the first half. We had half chances here and there. We really, the beauty of now losing a defender and adding an extra player going forward, whether that be an extra attacker or an extra midfielder, is even when we attack on a counter-attack, there's always at least one player in the box. And I think we'll get used to it throughout the season, but there was a number of times where we had men over and we had some fantastic spaces, and it's just about us getting our head up and trying to find that path. Morgan picked up some beautiful spaces in the second half. Then Donker had a good chance in the first half where he came very close to testing the goalkeeper as well. So very promising signs in regards to attacking. And I think it could still be a lot better. There's still a lot to improve on. But what I've been pleasantly surprised with over the friendlies, I'm going to ignore the Levante game and I'm going to ignore the Villarreal B game, because for me that wasn't our strongest 11. But the games against Alaves and the games against Besiktas and the game today against Sporting, I really thought our back four would get completely exposed, and to be honest, it's been really, really solid, which I'm happy with, that we've sort of adapted almost so quickly, you could say. It's not perfect. I think there's definitely still areas, but the way that we can still attack but still recover so quickly seems to be really, really good. And that back four at the moment, even when Semedo's back fully fit, I think he's going to have a real job of getting in ahead of the likes of Aït-Nouri and Johnny as a certain starter. But Sporting did get their equalizer in the end. It was from a penalty. They had a penalty shout slightly earlier on where a player had gone down just inside the box ahead of a challenge from Neves. I think the referee again got that decision bang on. It was a little bit soft, but in the end they did get one. I think it was Paulinho, the striker, that was fouled by a trailing leg from Nathan Collins. It was dramatic, as most things were during the game, which we'll speak about in a second as well. But it was a penalty, and before the game, you would have put your money on either Pedro Gonçalves or Francisco Trincao, who was at Wolves last season scoring a goal. In the end, it was the former Wolves man, Gonçalves, who put the penalty away going into half-time. And 1-1 at half-time, but I was pretty happy with how it went. Second half started off quite feisty, didn't it? We saw the Aït-Nouri incident with the right-back Pedro Porro, who seemed to be a little bit feisty throughout most of the game. A lot of late challenges from Sporting throughout the game. Wolves weren't perfect either. I think, that's what you'll get with pre-season. Players still trying to get up to their top sharpness and fitness. The one thing, and we saw it wasn't too bad today, but we've seen it in pretty much every friendly so far, is the feistiness from Wolves. And it's good in a way, because historically Wolves have sort of almost rolled over and got their bellies tickled. We've seen since Bruno Lage, over the last 12 months, we've really added this nastiness almost to our game. And we saw it again today where Aït-Nouri and Pedro Porro had a little bit of a spat. I don't mind it. We've just got to make sure we can control it ourselves and put a lid on it, because Aït-Nouri wanted to finish that argument. He wanted to finish that spat. And in the Premier League, with VAR, you've got to be really careful in those instances. And then we saw Pedence. It was, again, a very poor late challenge on Pedence just shortly after that as well, who got a lot of stick, Pedence, for the way, obviously, he left Sporting a few years ago. He got a lot of stick. I would have loved to have seen him score. But other than that, the referee, he didn't let the game flow as much as I would have wanted him to. The other big opportunity was Hwang. Again, it's nice to see him being back. It's the first time we've seen him during pre-season. It was just good to see another attacking option. We haven't got enough at the moment. Adama, he's still at home. He was pictured at Sainsbury's in Womben in Wolverhampton yesterday, so we knew he wasn't going to be part of the squad. But Hwang rounded the goalkeeper. Just couldn't quite get his feet right. Still got a decent shot on goal, but it was cleared off the line. But defensively sound. I think Aït-Nouri's been phenomenal this pre-season. I thought he had a really good game today, but defensively so solid, and it's promising. I really like our first 11. I've said it a couple of times. I really like our first 11, but it's time now for the board. Get the hand in their pocket. Let's get another few players in, because with the way we're playing and the formation that Bruno Lage wants us to play and the style he wants us to play, I'm not going to say we're going to have a famous season, but we could have a real decent go again this season and be an improvement and just much more exciting football to watch from next season, I think. But look, the owner, Wang Shang, is there today as well. Him and Jeff Shee with the Sporting owners have a Super Bock, have a whatever the other, Sagres, have a Francesina sandwich, and try and get a Mateus Nunez deal over the line, lads, whilst you're out there. Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's game. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with my reaction to the Forense game. I'm sure there's going to be a much rotated 11. I'm sure we won't see many of the players that we saw today. But let's wait and see. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all very, very soon.